When we started Taraji Eco Farm slightly over 2.5 years ago, we only had two agendas on our minds. The first one, which we started with, was to feed our family fresh, healthy, organic food. And the second one was actually generate an income, or prove to ourselves that we can generate an income from self-sufficiency or from farming in general. And over the last 2.5 years, we actually set out to feed our family fresh organic food. And we've actually done that. You've watched us from day one, keeping small number of chicken, or starting our own beds from the first bed to the second to the third. We tried out various vegetables like lettuce for the first time, and they did very well. We tried crops that don't go around here like arrowroot, and they did very well. So over the last 1.5 years, we feel that we've already achieved. We can actually feed our family most of the food. We can grow most of our food and actually feed our family fresh, healthy, organic food. Now that we've already achieved our first goal of providing fresh, healthy, organic food to the family, it's time we move to the second goal that we had, which was and actually is to generate income from this farm. And that's where we are today, and that's the purpose of this video, to actually reveal to you our next big project. Just in case you don't speak Swahili, Taraji means hope. So when we set out on this journey, we only had hope. We didn't have experience. We didn't have proper experience in farming. We only had hope, and that's why we call this farm Taraji Eco Farm. And hope has actually brought us this far, and it's going to take us to the next step. So welcome to today's video. Hopefully you're going to enjoy it. Please feel free to share with your friends and family and anyone else out there who's interested in self-sufficiency. And also please comment on our comment section, because we've learned so much from you over these 2.5 years. We've learned so much from you, and you actually have been a part of this journey and a part of this success. So over those 2.5 years that we've been in existence as Taraji Eco Farm, we've tried various projects here and there, and also tried selling in small quantities some of the things we've been growing or keeping. Especially we sold eggs in the market. However, the kind of breed that we keep of chicken that we are keeping, we actually keep up to now, is the pure 100% kienyeji and it is free range. Now that's a very difficult breed for you to go into business with, because one, they mature later, they start producing eggs later, and also they are not very consistent in egg production. So you're not going to be able to use the sale of eggs, especially to feed them. So the only way you can keep this chicken is for our own home use. So we have to look for an animal or a project that was actually going to make business sense for us. And so, like a year ago, we put up this structure for goats with the aim of keeping dairy goats. Those of us in Kenya, we know, especially in Nairobi, we know how expensive goat milk is. I think it's about 200 shillings a liter. So we are interested in that. So we are first of all pull this structure up, hoping we'll get dairy goats within a short period. But as we are doing our research around, we found out in the area where we live here, there were no good quality dairy goats. If you need a good quality dairy goat, you have to go to a very reputable farmer, and not around here. I think there are a few in Nairobi, Kiambu, and those sides. So here we cannot get any of those quality dairy goats. So the other point is also the market, because for you to keep something like goats or chicken, the best market for you is your surrounding areas. So we did our research on market, and people around here do not, either they don't know about goat milk and its benefit, or they've just never tried to understand goat milk. So the market for goat milk here was non-existent actually. And so we took a long time. Actually, we're doing our research on goats for the last, I think slightly, or maybe 1.5 years. And so we settled on multi-purpose goats, because goat meat is very popular in Kenya. It's actually, I don't have the specific figures, but I think it's one of the most consumed meats in Kenya, apart from beef. And so we settled on multi-purpose goats. Now, where do we find multi-purpose goats from? That's which brings me to the next point now. And I'm sure he showed you a video. If you've been watching our videos, he showed a video of the like a month ago or a month and a half ago when we went and bought 3 goats, 1 back and 2 does, and they're here. So for those of you who have been wondering what happened to the goats we brought on the farm, today I'm going to give you an update of how they are, how they've been doing, we've been raising them. So that's the next part that I want to show you before I give you the big reveal of our project, income generation project. So these are our first goats, our first goats for business on this farm. Because initially, if you've been watching us from day one, remember those very poor quality videos we started with. We had goats on the farm. We had actually bought 2 goats locally over here. We did not know about breeds. We did not know about meat. We just wanted goats on the farm. And so these are the first ones that we've properly done our research, identified the breed we actually know about, and done proper research to it. So these are Gala goats. And in the video, we'll give a link on the description of the video we did when we went to collect the goats. These are Gala goats, and in that video they actually explain how you can identify a Gala goat and the advantages of a Gala goat. But I can just tell you briefly, these goats have been here for I think maybe 1.5 months, and you can see they are very healthy. Actually, very healthy. This is the back. I'm not sure whether you can see him properly, but this is the back. It's quite young still, less than 2 years old. And then we have these 2 does. They're both pregnant. So by the time they are being brought on the farm, they had already been served. And this one, we don't have the exact time it was served, but we believe that in the next like less than a month, it's going to give birth. Hopefully we'll get twins. And then this one too is pregnant, could be about 2-3 months, and it's quite young. So we are looking forward to actually having our first milk on the farm. Milk is one of the most expensive things we buy in a house because we have small kids. So we really wanted to replace buying milk from the shop and have our own milk. And these goats, the Gala goats, are able to achieve weight of about between 55 to 60 kgs when taken good care of and fed very well, which is very good because most of the goats around here, or most of the goats found in Kenya, or southern part of Kenya, I think, are the smallest African goat. And that one after the pure ones, after live weight will be about 30 kgs, and then carcass weight will be anywhere from 18 to 16 kgs, again, depending on the particular goat. But these ones, you see, they can achieve 55 to 60 kgs of weight. So this one would be fetch a higher price than the smallest African goat. Hence why we ended up conclude that a goat business is going to be better for us, and we can actually make an income from it. How did we go about starting this one? Yeah. So when we built this house, we planted, because we have a piece of land not far from here, less than 5 minutes walk. We planted Napier grass. So we brought in the improved, it's called Pak Chong Napier grass, planted that one. And then we also have the local Napier grass. So I think the Napier grass we have is sufficient to feed these goats on the farm, and makes it easier because the only thing we have, because you can't feed these goats only fresh food or fresh grasses or fresh leaves, you have to mix with dry material. So the only thing we do is we buy hay, which is boma rods. So we feed them on a mixture of both boma rods and Napier grass, and they've been doing very well. I think they've gained a lot of weight. We don't have anything to weigh them at this moment, or we didn't even weigh them when they're coming in, but they've actually increased weight. We are so impressed that we thought this project you have to now scale it up so that now we can make more money from it. We've not started selling anything from them yet, but the affordability, you can see, chicken was very expensive to feed, and they took long to mature and to start laying eggs. But the goats, this one can be served. I think goats can be served twice a year, so it's possible for them to give birth twice a year. Like this one, now they're served. When they give birth, we'll give the young one about 4 months, 4.5, and then you can serve it again. So you can see in a year you can get 2 kids. If it has twins, then you get 4. If you're lucky, you get 4. So this is a very good business for us. So that's why we feel strongly that goats are our next chapter of our life on this farm, taking us now into income generation. And we are setting out to prove that it's possible for someone with a small piece of land like we do to actually make an income from it. So after having done our proper research, having experience with these goats over here, now we've actually moved to the next phase of our income generation activity through goats. And today is the day that we brought in new goats on the farm. So we've actually scaled it up, and it's what I'm going to show you next. So you remember our chicken house, our beautiful chicken house? This is the new look. We've actually repurposed it for goats, for the purpose of goats. We've not done away with chicken because we have another house for chicken over there that we have now about maybe 30, 35 chicken for our own home consumption for eggs. But for the purpose of scaling up our goat business, we had to repurpose the chicken house to actually look like this. And today we got a consignment of 14 goats, 14 doors actually, because remember you have one back over there, and a back can serve about 20 goats. So, and in the market where we had ordered the goats from, there was no like breeding back available. So we just thought we'll get the doors for now. We'll look for back later on. But yeah, inside here we have 14 doors. That now is our next phase of goat production, that is milk and for meat. These are breeding stock. So these are going to be on the farm for a while because they are going to give birth to kids that we are going to be selling in future. We are not going to do maybe a lot about the goats because they are tired. They've actually traveled about 600 kilometers to get here from a different climate. So today they just came in. They're actually resting right now. We gave them some drugs to acclimatize and some multivitamin for them to get a bit of energy and be able to eat and drink some water. But for the next couple of weeks, they're going to be quarantined. So these ones are not going to mix with the earlier goats we've just shown you until about 3 weeks. We make sure they don't bring any new diseases to the farm. So they're actually quite tired, but I want to go in and show you how they are. Now, there's a challenge that I'm going to explain to you. If you're a budding goat farmer and you're going to purchase them from distance away, they'll come quite tired because again, this one was brought in a truck and there was other things in that truck. So they're actually quite tired going over 600 kilometers. And then because of, I think they are exposed to some cold because they had to stop, like change vehicles like twice on the way. And so they came in with a bit of cold. They actually have some mucus running down and some are coughing. So we had to get a vet here immediately to treat them. And they're actually settling in quite well. You're going to see in a while. But I think if you're going to buy goats from far, you need to be ready, either with the medication to come and to acclimatize them or treat against any eventualities like pneumonia and the other diseases. So today we are caught unawares because when the other goats came, they took about 2 days to settle. And they are not as tired because we bought them from less than 100 kilometers from here. But these ones came in as a surprise for us. They looked so tired. Some of them were sleeping. Some of them were not even eating. Some were not even chewing cud. So it was this morning for a couple of hours, we had a bit of a struggle to actually make sure they are okay. So let me go in and show you. So these are our new visitors on the farm, and they are a feature of the farm. Unfortunately, they're not feeling very well. They're actually quite tired. Like any human, even a human being, you'll be jet lagged if you travel for long. So we're going to do just a very short video for this one, just to because I need to introduce you to them. Because a few weeks from now, you'll look at these goats and you'll not believe they're the ones. They'll have grown fat and healthy, and and all this fur will be very smooth and all that. So these are breeding stock. They are 14 does. But what is important is, and you're going to do this in consequent videos. You're going to have videos for members only. I think the most important thing, if I've gone to the market myself to buy these goats, I would have bought very poor quality goats. I've seen the importance of having someone who actually knows goats very well. These ones will be about 1.5 years and below. That's important because they're going to be on farm for long, and young goats actually adapt to climate or any other environment quite easier than older goats. So when you go to the market to buy, you need proper information to do that. And then you can see these goats, I don't want to disturb them a lot, but I want to show you just one. The body structure is important. Yeah, let me use this one. You can see this goat, it's probably maybe under a year old. But you can see the structure of the body. You can see it's quite long, and then you can see it's also quite tall. So this goat, when we are done finishing feeding it for the next 1 month, it's going to look very different. It's going to be very fat. So it's important to notice, to actually know what kind of goats you're looking for. If they are for the meat, I think it's important to look at the structure of the body so that you know this goat one, it's going to be able to achieve like the 55 to 60 kgs you are saying. Yeah, so as I'm saying, it's important to understand one, why you want to keep goats for. Are they for milk, for meat, or are they multi-purpose? And with that information, information here, also you understand what kind of goat you're looking for. The body structure is important. It actually tells you if this goat is going to grow quite big, especially for meat. Especially for meat, it's going to grow quite big. So that's information too that we have had to bring in consultants to actually advise us about. Yeah, I think we are done with these goats. We'll keep showing you videos for the next few months, and you're going to see change as we feed them. Now, the other important thing I need to mention is that this being our income generating activity, we have done a lot of research into it. We have consulted professionals. We have traveled to other farms to actually go and get information. So we're going to have videos for members only that we're going to update proper research information on goat farming. And we're going to cover topics like how to start a goat farm from scratch, feeding goats, diseases, record keeping, water, which is very important. You also understand your water. Just don't give goats any water because it's good water is tested. You know what minerals are in that water. But that's one of the things we are saying, that we are to treat these goats because of the traveling. They've actually been given some drugs, so they'll be okay. In a couple of weeks, they'll not be coughing like that. Yeah, to my point, we're going to have these members only videos with all this information broken down properly. We'll have professionals speaking to you. We're going to visit other farms and show you. But this will be members only and available for $1.99 per month. And we are going to grow with you. You're actually going to be experience how we started a goat farm. And as we progress slowly until we start selling meat and all that, you're going to grow with us. You're going to experience this business properly with us. So yeah, so we'll put a link for you on this video to join if you want to be a channel member. It's not only for people who want to keep goats for business. Even you want to see growth. You want to see how people can start a goat farm and grow it to a very big, because there are big plans for this farm, for this goat project. You can also be a member and you'll be getting regular updates, videos, good quality videos, and all that, and other benefits. So that's it for today's video. We've actually told you two main goals for starting Taraji Eco Farm was to feed our family fresh, healthy, organic food. And the next phase, which you're in now, and which this video has been informing you, is to do income generation from this farm. And so we've shared with you our great plans. So we hope you're going to continue being with us and being a part of this growth, especially on our income generation activity, which you have grand plans for it. Yeah, we actually have a vision of this farm having close to 1,000 goats in the next 3 years or so. So be part of this journey, inform your friends, share with your friends. And also, if you do this business, please comment on our comment section, give us advice, and tell us how your experience is, because we have great plans for this farm. And also, we want to do this journey with you. See you in the next one.